The government makes no money. The government creates no jobs. There are government jobs, but they always cost more than normal jobs. They're actually taking jobs away. They're always a net loss in jobs. Why? Because in order to create the jobs, you got to collect the taxes. You got to move the taxes. Each dollar is being decimated by going through the government process. If I hire somebody, it's like you give me money because I'm selling you soap. Then I use the money that I got, the profit I got for soap to hire somebody. It's just a clean deal and I create jobs. The government never creates jobs. The government takes people's money, which would be used for creating jobs, and makes fewer jobs. That's how that works. So it's like she does. But the idea that deficit spending is not taxes is just wonderful. We just spend it ahead. You know, even on Knucklehead Row, the op-ed page of the New York Times, even on Knucklehead Row, there was an op-ed that was mostly knuckleheaded, but actually said something important. Let's go over to the New York Times and Knucklehead Row.
Oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, ho, let's go waltzing down to Knucklehead Road.
So this is by Stephen Ratner, who served as counselor to the Treasury Secretary in the Obama administration, right? This is not some crazed right-winger speaking the truth. I hate when they do that. This is a guy who's willing to lie. Most of this op-ed is nonsense, but he says, actually, it's not nonsense, it's just slanted. But here it's called Your Grandchildren Are Already in Debt. And here is how it goes. It says Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, free college tuition. Remember, this is Knucklehead Row. This is the New York Times, a former newspaper. With each new entrant into the Democratic presidential sweepstakes comes a fresh cascade of ambitious social programs to entice and excite would-be supporters. The list of pay-fors, to use a bit of Washington jargon, grows more slowly. They'll pay for this how again? Tax the rich, or take cover behind a convenient bit of progressive dogma. Don't worry about the fiscal impact because America's rising budget deficits and debt levels don't much matter. That's a scary drift of thought, and it should set off alarm bells for all Americans. Vast increases in debt will ultimately compromise Washington's ability to maintain its current array of spending programs, let alone add new ones, and threaten our standard of living. This is from an Obama guy who then goes on in the rest of the piece to blame the Republicans for all the deficit spending, which, you know, actually has an aspect of fairness to it. They've all done it. Everybody's done it. But at least somebody at the New York Times, which is basically now just an anti-Trump hate rag, is speaking out against this kind of nonsense.